Yo, what's up guys? I just wanted to make a quick YouTube video on showcasing my Erika1 Corrosive Throw setup. This is a potential League starter build for me, and the main reason why I wanted to go Corrosive Throw is because it is a projectile based ability with these special weapon tags, and it will allow me to use Thunder Spike mobility to pair with it, and this is one of the best ways to move around the map currently in the game, especially if you pair it with Blade Dancers so that you can flank around even more. And I usually play melee builds, so I wanted to try a projectile based build just to see how it plays. I'm gonna go in a map real quick just to quickly showcase how the build looks and plays, and then we'll go over how it scales and stuff. So this is a pretty standard deep space full quant setup for purple overall with the double plunder. Pretty standard, and I will just quickly clear it and then let you guys see how it plays. So you can see like the coverage is pretty clean with the jump, and I'm using the advanced sequence on my weapon for corpse explode. It helps clear out the stragglers pretty cleanly. And also once you get the eternity stacks going, of course, it is very clean, quick, and efficient. This build has the option of going extremely fast if you just spam your mobility skill. So let me just get a little more stacks of eternity and I can go very quick over here. Is a very quick and efficient, easy boss rush setup as well if you want to go very fast in maps. But I am basically I'm mainly a overwhelm enjoyer, so I do enjoy going very quickly for the purple overwhelm clearing. So just going over the item choices for the build, the main goal of Corrosive Throw is to reach 400% multi-strike chance, The main reason why is because of the skill, how it functions. Basically, every time you multi-strike, you gain 1 stack of the buff, and the buff provides one projectile quant up to 3 stacks. This is further increased to 6 stacks through the 3rd slot support skill, and even better, the 5th slot provides 8% additional damage and 10% additional attack speed per stack of the buff. So you gain 6 times 8 and 6 times 10. And obviously the Erika revival trait has great synergy with this. It basically gives us +2 to initial multi-strike count and max multi-strike count. And that is why we need only 400% multi-strike. I can show the stacks on a dummy real quick. As you can see, it starts at 4, but once the revival trait procs, it goes up to 6 stacks. And that is a very great way to scale our clear speed, coverage with projectile quantity, as well as the damage. You might be asking why I'm running a Broken Sun Ring as a projectile build instead of Heart of the Storm. It is mainly for this Solar Ring effect, which is a 40% additional damage multiplier, and all enemies within 6 meters are considered to be within 6 meters of you. I believe this is bugged and it's actually 3 meters, so it is even better because it works with proximity slates and stuff like that. And also, I have a bunch of melee nearby scaling pets, so I'm making do with my situation. I don't have any projectile pets, so this is the next best thing I can do. It is also extremely cheap. All you need is a LE resist line. You can get a max row LE resist line for 40 to 50 FE, very, very cheap. If you do have projectile build, or pets, I mean, you can opt for Heart of the Storm and scaling distant damage instead of nearby. That is definitely an option. You'll just have to get your resist elsewhere in the build. I also have the standard Eternity with the Shell Belt blend. This is the most important core talent for our build. If you don't get it from Belt, make sure you get it from the Pedigree. Everything else is pretty standard, just a bunch of priceless gear, and Blade Dancers is the item I opt to use because of this line right here, which resets your Speed Phantom every time you consume a Agility Blessing at a 0.3 second interval. And make sure you get a slate with the on mobility skill, gain a Agility Blessing, so you can keep this up. Vorax Gloves, very important, 1.4% roll on Cicada Shell. Everything else doesn't really matter as much, but it is a nice extra bonus if you can get additional max ES ultimate, as well as either flat crit or aura effect. These gloves with this roll is around 5 to 6k FE, I believe, last time I checked. Just the most important part is getting 1.4% because this is where all your flat damage comes from. Let me go over the talents real quick. This is pretty standard Goddess of Hunting, Druid with the micro and medium, reflecting basically all the max ES as well as the regain and a little bit of extra damage. Ranger Tree is pretty standard. It's for the ES as well as we take Impending. You can also take Rapid Shots if you choose to play the distant damage variation of the build. And Phantasmagoria, we gain the projectile speed and the 3 additional allocations of our medium talent, so we can get plenty of projectile speed to scale Gale, which is 60% of your projectile speed is also applied to additional projectile damage. Lots of additional damage there. We're able to get 6 times our talents, and with Marksman we have some very great projectile based talents. Like over here, we gain 72% projectile speed on top of 84%. Bunch of projectile crit rating here, crit strike damage. Basically, lots of synergy with this setup with Phantasmagoria. For slates, if you have your shell from the belt blend, I would opt for quick advancement, multi-strike damage increasing, very nice synergy with Erika1, as well as penetrating, which has good synergy with Cicada, because we do all 3 types of elemental damage, so we gain all 3 types of infiltration, which leads to an additional 24% LE damage on top of the infiltration, which I believe is 13% additional. As for the other lines, we want stuff like increasing multi-strike damage and the 40% defense gained from chest armor to scale Cicada further. We also get the chance to multi-strike, which is how we reach 400%. It's through Slates as well as our Pact, Micro Fates. I'll also go over the Pacts real quick. This is definitely a whale setup with 5 Micro Fate destinies. These are not required at all. This is because I just have a bunch of money to burn because I'm bored. You are definitely not required to do this. You basically just want to run microfates to reach 400% chance to multi-strike, and then the rest you can put into increasing multi-strike damage as well as a 0.2% energy shield on defeat to keep yourself healthy when you're not regaining. Star Trails are very expensive. You do not need these either. You can run stuff like Wraith for extra additional damage. There's also some budget projectile damage Kismets as well you can run. You can also run some medium multi-strike nodes as well if you are giga broke. There's a lot of flexibility in the setup. This is basically a giga whale setup that is not required at all for the build. Also, hero memories are pretty standard, just the dexterity. Let me change this over. You just want the fixed affix for 30% projectile speed. That is very nice for scaling, and then you can settle for like skill crit damage, crit rating, projectile speed on fixed the rolling affixes, max ES. Ideally you want projectile speed, but it is the hardest one to roll, so if you don't hit it, it's definitely not required. But yeah, I think this build is pretty solid. It has a lot of mobility, a lot of survivability. If I go over to the Supreme Showdown, I was able to do SS20 3-star relatively easily. SS21 is a bit harder because the build does not shotgun, but it is still definitely possible to do it once you cap out your like T0s and stuff. But if you are interested in trying this build out, I will include the build code in the comment section of the description, and I will catch you guys later.